how in the world can you take that anxiety and go on stage?
That is the only place where I do not get bothered by anxiety.
I personally cannot remember the words to basically one song. Like, you can write a song in your mind,
Yes.
and then you can go sing it for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Sure is lonely in a lost dark tonight.
On today's episode of The Exclusive Mindset, I have a very special guest. Not only is she a rising star in the world of country music, but she also happens to be my sister-in-law, Jenny Tolman. And right now is a huge moment for Jenny. She's one of 12 artists chosen to compete on CBS's brand new competition series, The Road, which kicks off this fall. It's a show that's going to put artists through the reality of what it really takes to make it in country music. Touring city to city, opening for major acts like Keith Urban, connecting with live audiences, and proving themselves night after night. The prize is $250,000 and a record deal. But more than that, it's about showing the world who you really are and why you belong on the main stage. Jenny, welcome to the Exclusive Mindset Podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Given your stress and your schedule and family, what are you doing to stay healthy and in shape? We always talk about this on this podcast.
Yeah.
We deal with a lot of athletes. Like, what is your routine? What is your eating what are your eating habits like? Like, does that play a role at all, or you're on the road? How do you handle it?
No, for sure. If you ask my band, they will tell you I am like the queen of finding healthy food on the road. I have an app. It's called Find Me Gluten Free.
Okay.
Because I'm gluten free, as you know.
I know.
I've been gluten free since I was 15, so it's been quite a while. And I got into holistic medicine back then too, because I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and a lot of issues that holistic and integrative medicine really helped figure out the source of. And so I keep my diet really clean to this day. I'm gluten-free all the time. At home, we try to, always be sugar-free as well, not keep sugar in the house. On the road, it's hard to be super duper clean. I do my very best, and we'll bring a lot of stuff, make our own snacks. I'll make muffins for the band, or like power balls, things like that, just little snacky things that will keep us going. So food is a huge part of it. I'm very cautious about what I eat and what I put into my body, because you can definitely tell before you go on stage if you have catering that's like this hole in the wall, greasy spoon, you're going to be feeling that on stage.
Totally.
So you always want to be mindful of that. Movement is so important too. Try to get up and walk every single day, no matter where I am. Go on a walk of some sort. Pilates if I can. I go to the gym when I'm home at least 3 times a week. So, keeping in shape is so important. I mean, your vocal cords are muscles. I mean, they work out just like muscles. So, keeping your body in shape and keeping everything, our bodies are completely linked together. So one part of your body controls a whole nother part of the body. So just being mindful of that.
And that's been a non-negotiable for you for a long time with the sort of your diet, right? Yeah, I remember.
How do you know that?
Yeah. Very particular.
Do you want to tell the story of when we first met? I traumatized Nick when we first met.
Yeah, just give the story. Why not? Go ahead.
So Nick and Katie have
I wasn't that excited to see you again after that.
I don't even know how long. And I had such bad, I'm not kidding when I say anxiety. Am I looking at the right camera too? Is this where I should look? Okay. When I say I had anxiety, I had anxiety. I would fall on the floor and panic attack. Long story short, I had to drop out of high school because I couldn't even sit in the classroom. I had such bad anxiety. And when I found out I had to be gluten-free, it set off a level of OCD that I've never experienced before. If it touched me, I would have a panic attack. So poor Nick.
Oh my gosh.
It's the first time we're meeting, and he takes us to this beautiful restaurant that his friend owned, I think. Yeah. And I'm 15, 16. I'm not impressed by your friend owning a restaurant. Not at all. Okay, cool. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just concerned about gluten. I'm asking the waiter about gluten-free, knows nothing. doesn't
I'm
know
sitting
what
here
I'm
like,
talking
wait,
about.
what? It's like,
And I'm like embarrassing Nick so bad, and I don't even realize it because I'm like this teenager.
well, you
that's-
asked like a science question. The guy's like, you're like, is there gluten in this here? And has that touched this back in the kitchen? And the guy's like,
cross contamination.
the guy's like, what? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I'm nudging Katie. I'm like, yo, what's up with your sister? And then
Honestly,
you're like,
I thought I didn't know if Nick was gonna keep dating me.
I didn't want to. I was like, all right, this whole situation
Like,
here.
I think we ended up leaving the restaurant without.
Oh
me
no!
eating. I
What
don't think
happened
I
was
ate.
you got
Like,
on your phone and started Googling
I probably pulled up
restaurants.
my app.
Yeah, you started looking at nearby restaurants that serve gluten free, and I'm just like, get me out of here! Like, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, well, this is not a good first day.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that was great.
you were obviously in love
Yeah.
with my sister.
I was so in love. It's
He
just
stuck around, and I've chilled out.
well, she said you weren't going to be around that much, so I just said, no problem.
And here I am on your podcast.
Here you are.
We've come full circle.
Yeah.
He loves me now.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the gluten-free story. But I mean, if anyone was there, the poor waiter was like, I mean, you
I'd like
confused-
to send my apologies. I had severe
That
problems
poor
back
guy.
then.
Has the fries touched the oil on the pan? Like, has there been any gluten air back there? Like, I mean, it was.
Listen, it's a thing, okay?
Yeah. But it's good.
But I'm a lot better now.
A lot better.
I've
Kidding me?
really chilled out.
Yeah. And I spike you with gluten every once in a while.
I think it was one of those things where it's like my brain had I felt so out of control that my brain had to find something to be able to control to feel like not so out of control with the anxiety all the time. So I was like so hardcore focused on
Yeah,
it.
well, you were hardcore. That's for sure. You were
Yes.
determined.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, a lot of people out there, like, it became a thing for me. And my brother owns a restaurant, so it was like, knowing that you did that, it was like at these restaurants, it's like, just put a little thing, gluten-free. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
There are tons, millions of people that are gluten-free. And it's always
I
like,
probably started a movement.
you probably did. But for me, I just don't want to hear it. So I'm like, hey, put a little GF Nick.
Nick's just trying to impress us
Yeah.
and do all this stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
is this cross-contaminated?
Yeah, like, and the poor guy, like, where'd she go? She left.
I did.
Whew, that was a
Nick
good
was
one.
thrown for a loop because I'm also the most emotional one of my family, probably, or like feel my emotions.
I
more
would say
so.
so, yes.
So he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is a different Tolman girl.
Here
than
we
I'm
go.
used to.
Here we go. We found the missing link.
They didn't know what to do with me when I joined the family.
No, but everything's worked out. All right. Passion versus dream versus reality. Is what keeps you going more passion, dream, or sheer determination? Which one is it?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Probably at the end of the day, sheer determination. Because the dream is there and the passion is there. But it can waver, like you said. There's times where you're like, oh gosh, I'm so close to quitting, but I am stubborn.
Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio. I'm gonna
Yeah.
if I'm gonna
Yep.
I'm gonna Scorpio tail you and I'm gonna get it done. So I would say, at the end of the day, you got to have the sheer determination to complete the task. You set out on this for a reason and you're gonna see it through.
Yeah, it's so easy to quit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so easy to lose that determination. That just, I mean, it's
It's kind of like, well, I've always heard in marriage, it's like, you're going to be so infatuated with this person and you're so in love, but marriage is a commitment and there's going to be times where you don't feel that and where you want to just be like, okay, yeah.
You're obviously not talking about me.
Never.
Were you talking about yourself?
But it is, it's like, you look back and you're like, okay, no, I committed to this person for a reason. I'm in love with this person for a reason. And you see your commitments through. And it's kind of the same thing with, your passions. Your passions are going to have peaks and valleys constantly throughout your life, throughout your career. But you have to have that sheer determination to keep it going and to be successful.
Totally. And I think it also goes back, and I'm just thinking of, Seth here, our producer, and the friends that were around. Mm-hmm. It is so important to have a group of people around you that when you go, there are two types of people. One, you go and say, I'm thinking about quitting, I'm overwhelmed, and they'll listen to everything you say and say, yeah, it's a good idea, you should quit. Mm-hmm. You've done too much. Or there's the person who says, you made the commitment.
Yeah.
Shut up and get back out there.
Exactly.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
And when you surround yourself with nothing but determination, you can't leave. I mean, it's funny. We'll be, I'll be talking to Seth at 5:30 in the morning, and my business partner, and all of us are on the same thing. So like when those thoughts even come into your head, when you have that team, it's not even an option.
Right.
That's
exactly.
key. Because if you're around a bunch of people that are going to be soft and say, yeah, maybe you are working too hard, maybe you should spend more time at home. I mean, that helps you go the wrong direction.
Right.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. And I've always heard, never make decisions based on how you feel.
Yeah.
You cannot let your feelings control your decision-making process. And so, if you don't feel like it, the passion, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not really feeling it today.
Yep.
I'm just going to call it quits for the day. Come back tomorrow. It's like,
Or write an email. Don't send that email when you
Don't
want to.
send that. I have a song and it goes, you can write your feelings all you want, but there's a chance it'll come back to haunt. So just press that backspace button. Don't you dare hit send.
I love it. Yes. Okay. We got to get that quoted somewhere. Whew. What does being heard mean to you? So both as an artist and a person.
Ooh.
I got some good questions for you.
That is a good one. Connecting as an artist and a person, if I can truly connect with someone, that means that they've heard me and I've heard them too. Like I said, I love laughter. I love humor in my music so that I can make people comfortable. And once they're comfortable, then they're open to hearing what I really have to say. There's a really amazing song by Roger Miller, he was one of my favorite artists of all time. He was brilliant. He has some of the weirdest, wackiest songs you've ever heard. And you're like, what the heck is this dude talking about? He has a song called You Can't Roller Skate in a Buffalo Herd. And just that title, you're like, what?
Yeah.
And so it's all these things examples like that, which make no sense. Or what is he talking about? And it's all these things that seem impossible. But then the hook is, but you can be happy if you've a mind to. So it's truly all about the crux of this whole weird, wacky song is you can choose to be happy. And that's as simple as it gets, even when it seems impossible. And so I think that, the goal for me to be heard by people is to deliver those messages and to have those types of things hit home surrounding my music.
In your business, are you the same Jenny that's out there in the world as you are at home?
No. I don't think so. It's so funny because my friends will, some of the first times they ever came to see me on stage, they would be like, Jenny, you're like Sasha Fierce up there. You're like Beyonce having an alter ego. Who is this? That's not Jenny. Because I'm pretty calm and soft spoken in person, and I'm not really overly animated. But you put me on a stage, I'm a totally different person. I'm sparkly and shiny, and I've got all these things to say. So it's definitely kind of like an alter ego thing that comes out.
So something that I'm going to backtrack a little bit, and I find this fascinating. So you mentioned many years ago, you dealt with this insane anxiety, and I've witnessed it. So how in the world can you take that anxiety of even sitting with four people at a table
right.
and go on stage and sing for an hour? How does that happen? In what world? In what mind? Tell everyone what is going on there, please.
Because it's what I was meant to do. I mean, that is the only place where I do not get bothered by anxiety. It's the place where I feel most comfortable. Like you said, I would get so anxious, have a panic attack just sitting in a classroom, listening to my teacher talk or having a conversation with someone. I would get so anxious, but you put me on stage, I feel completely at peace. And so that's how that's what you're meant to do. Yeah. Because I'm the polar opposite of a normal person.
That doesn't sound right.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's.
When you were in school, could you just get up in front of a stage and was that always okay? Or did you not even?
My first solo that I ever did was in kindergarten. It was Chicken Little.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And it goes, the sky is falling down, 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 and we must tell the king. And I remember this one girl, she came up to me, she goes, Chicken Little's a boy. And I said, I don't care. I got the solo. So performing has always just been natural for me. You know, I would play piano and the school talent show or whatever it may be. I would play piano. I went to Catholic school growing up, and I would be the cantor, which is the person who sings the psalm, and then they hold their hand up for the congregation to sing back, and play piano in church. And it was always, that's just what Jenny does.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't really out of the norm for me. It was just, that's what I do.
So here's a random question that I've always actually personally had. So you can basically, and I've seen you do this hundreds of times, and I just want to know if there's like something with the brain that's different. Okay. And maybe it's just my brain.
I'll try to answer if I can.
So when you hear a song for the first time, or hear the music, the notes, piano, you can basically recite it almost verbatim right away. Yeah. Like, I can give you a song that you've never heard before. So is there something with some people, like, you know, that is in your brain? Like, you can remember all your songs. I personally cannot remember the words to basically one song. Okay. My brain is not like that. It does not work like that. You can, like, you can write a song in your mind, and then you can go sing it for the rest of your life.
Yes.
How does that work?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I can remember normal things like normal people can, probably. Okay. So maybe my brain is just wired differently. I'm a lyricist. I'm a songwriter. So when I'm listening to a song, I want to hear what the story is. You know, I'm not just listening to get a vibe.
Oh, okay.
I want to know, what is this song saying? Because the whole point of music, to me personally, is receiving some type of message, receiving some type of story that I can learn something from or feel something from. And, you know, maybe you might listen to music just because it makes you feel good, and you're not really paying attention to what it's saying. But to me, as a songwriter, I think words are so important to me. So maybe that's that's why I'm hanging on to words to see where the story is leading.
So is there anything else that you're really good at, like, memorizing? Is it like, are there other things that you can store in your brain? I mean, I know this is like a total different question, but I find it so fascinating that you can just, I mean, you could probably recite 100 songs right now. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, probably.
How?
I've never thought about that, but I guess
I have, because I can't remember one.
You know, I am pretty good at remembering, like, those little codes that like login codes when they'll send you like a new code. I'm pretty good at that, so I don't know.
There you go. See, we figured it out. I just find it fascinating. There's something different, okay, in the brain.
I'm wired differently for sure.
So my wife, she can read a book.
Yeah.
Or let's say a textbook. She can read it quickly and then ace a test on what she just read. Are you the same way?
You know what? I don't think so. I think her and I are very different, as you know. Yeah. She's a lot more left-brained than I am, and I'm a lot more right-brained. So that probably is her left brain being able to do that, and more like scientific type of stuff, and or like book stuff. But honestly, this is so bad to say as a songwriter. I haven't read a book in so long, so I don't know. Well,
you're writing your own, so you're okay. But I just find it fascinating. Like, I have to read a page, like, make note card. Like, it's just my brain doesn't work like that. So obviously there's something, and I wonder, like, you should look into it a little bit and figure this out.
Maybe go get a brain scan after this.
Something, because it's not normal. I can tell you that. To be able to recite and do all that, it's nuts. So anyway, we'll jump back on the brain games another time. So
we'll report back to you next podcast.
And I
we'll
want
go over
a report.
My brain scan.
Yes. All right, you're on your journey. If things stay just the way they are, okay, the amount of success, the songwriting, everything, will you continue to go, or are you looking for something else?
Ooh,
told you I got some good questions.
You do. I'll always continue to go. You know, I don't think there's not really like a stopping point for me. This is what I meant to do. It's my passion. It is my like undying love, no matter how frustrating it gets. So truly there is no way, kind of like we were talking about earlier, there's no way for me to fail. I am going to keep going. And if it stays the same, then I don't think it can though if I keep going. You know, I've got some really exciting things in the works, things happening, and you never know what's around the corner. The music industry is constantly changing. It's constantly evolving. The world is always going to have a need for music. It's always going to have a need to connect. Stories are always going to need to be told. So I'm never not going to have a job with what I love to do. The level that it gets to is unlimited at this point, and I'm going to keep it that way. Yeah. I'm also very blessed that my husband is a songwriter as well and a producer, and we have a studio in our home so I can create for the rest of my life. You know, that's something we talk about very often. We're like, how lucky are we that, you know, no matter what happens, we're always going to get to do what we love.
That is amazing. Being that you're basically you're a songwriter. So singer-songwriter, you write basically everything yourself. So how, in a world of Instagram and TikTok and all of these other outlets, you've stayed true to your brand, to what you feel is right. Have you ever been tempted to just say, all right, I'm going to do one of these, write just a catchy song that goes viral? Or are you staying in your lane? Because it's kind of like insane seeing some of these songs that are just going crazy. Yeah. Because it's like, a couple things on a computer, half of them are AI. Right. Like, how are you combating that? I mean, I honestly think now more than ever, your brand is like needed because AI is doing everything. It's like insane.
It can be really, really frustrating and really like disheartening at times when you do see certain TikTok things and things like that. But I have, like you said, I've been staying true to myself. I have been very tempted to like, oh, okay, do I really have to like just keep grinding this out, or do I like write this little ditty that I'm pretty sure would go viral? And I think that there's a time and place for that. I've been able to see now, enough time has gone by, that the majority of things that take off on TikTok that might make you feel defeated as an artist generally don't lead into long-lasting careers if they haven't put in the work before that. You know, if it's an artist that has like a silly thing that pops off, they're probably sticking around because they've done the work. They have this artistry behind them. They're just doing something silly on TikTok, and that's great. I think the frustrating thing is like AI and just these like one-off things that take up real estate, no pun intended, where they really don't need to be taking up real estate. But yeah, I've always been told constantly, like over and over, as I've been coming up in the music industry, keep doing what you're doing. Like, stay true to you. Do not pivot towards, like, if the industry is chasing something, as soon as you start chasing it, you're behind already. So don't even try. So I've always just tried to do what I do, because honestly, the country industry right now, this sonically is coming back around to much more of the sound that I've always done. And so it's kind of like I've been preparing for this moment, and I've spent all this time when my music was considered too country, too left of center, it wasn't pop enough. Well, now it's starting to come back around, and the really true country sound is coming back out, and everybody's loving that. Like Lainey Wilson is bringing that back, Ella Langley. There's just Zach Top, like so many traditional leaning country artists. So it really is true. Like, it's not fun to wait. Yeah. And it's frustrating, but you do have to stay true to yourself, because if you find success doing something else, you're not going to be happy. Like, you're going to have to do that for the rest of your career, because that's what people know you for, and that's what they're following you for. And you're like, oh, well, shoot, now I'm known for the
Yeah, I mean, I think now is probably a pivotal point for you, because the AI thing of writing songs, like when they come to you or listen to your music, they know that you wrote that song from real life experience or a real thought. I think now more than ever it's important, because AI is just writing everything. It's doing it like
it's
there's
crazy.
No human.
It's scary.
It is.
I mean, it's scary. Even in songwriting, it's scary because you can prompt AI and it'll write you a whole song. Yeah. So to me, I'm like, what's stopping people from taking that from AI, writing it down themselves, taking it to a publisher, whoever, and being like, hey, I just wrote this.
Nothing. Yeah.
There's no way to prove prove anything. So it's going to be a very interesting next couple of years to see how all of
the
this-
only way to do it is to stay true to yourself and remain authentic. And then people know from your brand, from 10, 15 years of doing it, that this is you.
Right.
I mean, I think that's going to be an interesting thing over the next 5 years, is because already you're saying all these pop songs, you're like, oh, AI did it. AI did it. Like, I think that's going to be a pivotal moment in your industry.
And you have to believe, I guess maybe this is like happy-go-lucky of me, but I have to believe that people are going to be able to tell that there's not a soul connected to that. Eventually, you're going to be missing that.
Let's hope AI doesn't have a soul. What role does social media play in your business today?
Massive role. I mean, it's the number one tool that I have to reach people. Like I said earlier, I feel like I am a social media marketer and manager who does music, because it truly is. It's like every single day. Okay, what am I posting today? What's my content schedule for this next week look like? What do I need to film? What do I need to post? What do I need to edit and caption? All of this stuff. It is truly the biggest tool that I think in any industry you have right now. This huge platform to be able to reach literally the entire world at your fingertips. It's overwhelming, but it's also very helpful.
It is. I mean, there's no question about it. I'm the last person who wanted to get into social media and all this stuff, but you have to, if you're a marketer of business, it's what you have to do. What role do you think like Instagram and all this live performance, sort of with you performing, what role does social media play? Do you even have to go? Like, let's say if you have a gig somewhere, you know, in Massachusetts, that's, you know, in front of 2,000 people.
Yeah.
Do you think like, maybe I'll just, you know, do it online and reach more people? Like, has that come into play at all, of live performances on your platforms opposed to traveling and booking and?
Yeah, no, because I think we got a taste of that during the COVID debacle.
Yeah.
And there is no replacement for live music, truly, like that human to human connection when you're in the same room as somebody. I mean, it's just not the same over a screen. Yeah, you can always live stream the show that you're doing for real people to add that. But personally, and I think from a fan's point of view, I think we all got so like, oh, we just want real life and real connection, that it's not like a massive thing that I'm looking to get into, at least right now.
Yeah, there is a
Maybe
trend.
it's going to prove me wrong.
I don't think so. I mean, there's, of course you have to do it, but there's a trend now of people getting back to people. Like these run clubs are blowing up like crazy.
Right.
Getting people together, like the Pilates, getting people, like, of course your at-home classes are great, but that trend is kind of going back to like in person, just because we've been like shocked.
We need each other.
Exactly. Let's get into the nitty gritty a little bit. Money, sacrifice, and the grind.
Okay.
Most people don't see the financial side of chasing music. The years of pouring money into recording, traveling, promotion. How tough has that been, and what sacrifices have you sort of made to make it work?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am not in this like financially abundant place in my life right now, because in the music industry, it's kind of like what comes in goes right back out. You're on tour you're just trying to break even constantly. And then, once you reach a certain level of success, it's like insane.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother level that we're grinding it out, trying to get to. So, it's definitely a different lifestyle than what necessarily my sister is living, and having to, say no to certain things because, I need to put this aside for this part of the tour, or I need to pay my band for this gig that like I'm not taking anything out of this check, because if I did, I would be coming out of pocket. And so I'm purely playing because I love it and because it's my passion, and I'm not going to give up on it. Does that answer your question? I forget what the...
Yeah, it does. No, but personally, how does it affect you? Because, and by the way, most people that are in a business like yourself, any business that are grinding at this stage, I feel like a lot of people are going to feel exactly how you do. Like you can have I can have a big sale, like when I was sort of coming up, but that kind of just paid for everything I owe.
It goes away pretty quickly.
Exactly. You're paying your marketing. You got things to pay for. So I think most people that don't have a major financial backing go through that. So does that stress weigh on you? Are you kind of saying like, all right, I've done it for 10 years. I'm not really making the money that I'd like.
Right.
I have to sacrifice many things. Does that stress play a role? With me, it played a tremendous role beyond imagination. For you, does that come into play?
Yeah, I think it lights the fire even more. You know, if there's something that you want that you can't have right now, you're like, okay, well, how do I get it? And work harder, work smarter, you know, figure it out. It definitely can also do the opposite sometimes, where you're like, do I just like hang this up and go get a job doing like, you know, I'm really passionate about holistic medicine. Should I just go be like a nurse practitioner somewhere and have know that I'm going to get paid? Cause that's the other thing is like, I'm always like, what's it like to know that you're going to go to work and you're going to get paid? Like that's such a crazy concept to me in the music industry. It's like people go to work and they get a paycheck. Yeah. And like,
I've never had that.
And they know that they're going to get paid. Isn't that? Yeah.
When I bartended, I knew I'd at least get that minimum wage and then maybe some tips. But I think that is an amazing feeling. Probably never been there, but like the amount of. But then
it's also like my mom. Whenever I say that to her, she's like, "You would hate it."
Yeah.
You would hate it.
I don't know. Jenny's gluten-free bakery. That sounds pretty good, right? You like to bake, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep. I've made you some good things before.
Yes, absolutely. Have you ever, speaking of the financials, have you ever had to take jobs or gigs that you're just like, I do not want to do that. That's the last thing. I don't want to travel here. I just don't want to do it. But as part of your business, have you, do you do it?
I honestly don't think that there's been, well, I don't know. Maybe there's been like one or two where you're just like, oh, this is a rough gig, but you typically don't know that until you're there.
Yeah.
And I call them soul suckers, where you're just on stage and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? But at the end of the day, it's like my goal is if I can at least get one person to be on my side after that show and to be cheering me on after that show and to connect with them, then it's worth it. You know, it really is like a person business, like connecting and just adding those people up as you go. And eventually you're going to have a huge team behind you, a huge, following behind you that's cheering you on and that was there with you in those really, soul sucking gigs, or like, I saw you win. So, I think every gig has its value. And honestly, the ones that I most dread playing, something good always comes out of it. So I never say no unless it's like doesn't make like absolutely no financial sense.
Not to say where or when, but do you remember one that was just like it was just awful?
Oh gosh.
You got to have one.
Yes. There was one, oh my gosh, I won't say where it was.
No, don't say where it was. Don't say where it was.
But there was, the floor was a little questionable. If it was going to hold you up or not. Honestly, they had put a little rug over a hole. And I wear high heels when I perform a lot. And I'm like, I need like a traffic cone here or something. So I think my guitar player like put a guitar holder over that part so I wouldn't run into it. The sound was just horrendous. I remember we had the crankiest sound man. And honestly, I started crying. And this is a funny story because I started crying. And I was like, you don't have to be so mean. And I go to the bathroom like, why am I crying?
Oh my gosh.
And a week later, I found out I was pregnant.
Oh, boy, okay.
So I was like, that's why I was crying.
Yep. Okay,
so
now
honestly,
I know.
Maybe the gig wasn't that bad. Maybe I was just emotional. But there's been a lot of like,
Did you tell
there's sticky floors. There's just, you don't want to touch anything.
Did you actually
sometimes.
tell the guy he doesn't have to be so mean?
I did. Yeah.
while crying and pregnant?
While crying.
All right, there
and
you go.
unknowingly pregnant.
There you go. All right, mindset and lessons for our listeners, okay? What's the toughest conversation you've ever had with yourself when things just weren't happening? So the lower the low, like,
Yeah.
what was it?
You know, I think in those moments, you kind of have to talk yourself up and be like, okay, we didn't do so hot. We can do better. And we're going to do it. And in that moment of just sitting in that and allowing yourself to feel kind of like shitty for a second. Am I allowed to say that?
I think so.
Okay. and feeling that and then being like, okay, you know what? We're going to do better. I know what I did wrong. And you just kind of have to throw it out of your mind and keep going. Because if you focus on it, it's going to eat you alive.
Yep.
Like I will get on stage and be worried about something that I did at the last show.
Oh, wow.
And I'll like catch myself. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not even like looking at these people because I'm too worried about like, oh, am I going to mess this up again? You have to let it go. You have to acknowledge it and then let it go.
My next question, what fears do you still carry and how do you handle them? I mean, that goes right into that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you just said. So
yeah. And it's very hard for me to let things go. Cause like I said earlier, I'm a Scorpio. I hold on to things like nobody's business. And you know that too.
Yeah. I think you were pissed at me for like half the time I've known you.
But
we got through it.
But it's a new thing I'm learning. I'm like, oh, wow. You really can just like,
yeah.
Okay. Acknowledge it. Especially if it's something you did wrong, if it's something that I can learn from and get better at, like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. I'm forgiven, you know, and I can move on and do better. And it really is that simple. I think we try to make things so complicated and it has to be this like whole process and like, and it's like, no, just let it go. Move on
I find
and do better.
It's taken me 20 years to sort of learn that. And I've learned it from some of my most successful clients. It's like, you just literally have to like shut it out.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, okay, acknowledge it. See you later.
Yeah.
All questions are sort of aligned right here. Like, what's the one mantra or phrase that guides you through the grind? Is there something back to everything you just said that's like, just keep going? Or what?
Probably I'm put here for a reason. You know, that goes back to my faith, that I truly believe that I was put here for this reason, that I think we've all been given purposes in life and talents and different realities for a reason. And if you stand strong in that and believe in that and you're true to it, you're going to see it through and it's going to see you through.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question that I basically ask everyone that's on our podcast.
Okay.
And for our listeners, I think it's one of the most important ones. So to someone just starting out, maybe a younger version of yourself who feels like they're failing over and over again, but still has a deep passion for music, what advice would you give them and how should they keep going when it feels like the world is basically telling them to quit? What would you tell your younger self?
Ooh. Meet as many people as you can. That's the biggest way to success, especially in the music industry. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't know the right people, you're not getting anywhere. You know, it truly is like, I don't want to say who you know, but the more people you have on your side and the more people you're supporting, they're going to support you in return. And that's going to lift you up over time. All these people coming together, building your team in the industry of champions, supporters, things like that. Like, you have to go out and meet these people and find them. And it's hard sometimes, you know. I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
You know, I've got great champions that I do have, but I still could use, 50 more. Like, we all could. So I think that's the biggest piece of advice that I always tell to anybody who's getting started in music. Like, yes, your music, always stay true to that and always make that your number one. But you have to have people around you. You cannot do it by yourself.
All right, so I have one last question, and we got a couple other things going on here.
All
So,
right.
so one last question, and then we're going to talk about what's next for you.
Yes.
And we're going to try to get you to play a couple songs. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
The family business here.
Absolutely, absolutely. We just so happen to have your guitar here, so we're gonna.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, we figured it out. So I wanna end with this question.
Okay.
That sort of ties everything we've been talking to together.
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk about what's next for you. And then, you're kind of trapped, so if you don't mind playing a couple songs.
All right.
Okay, good.
You got it,
All right,
bro.
so think about this one. Okay, so this is to our listeners. We've talked a lot about your business, the struggle, the grind, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's one lesson you hope listeners, whether entrepreneurs, musicians, or anyone chasing success, can walk away from today from your story? What is one lesson you can give back?
Mm-hmm. You're not going to fail unless you stop. I think that's the whole gist of this entire thing. The whole success idea. You just never stop trying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a million reasons
Yeah.
that tell you should stop.
Yes.
You have to. I mean, I've watched you do it.
There's a Lady Gaga song that I love. That you've given me a million reasons to walk away.
Yeah.
Baby, I just need one good one to stay.
Exactly.
And you're always looking for that one good one because it's there.
Yeah. Can you tell me the email line again? I love that quote from your friend.
The email line? What was the email line?
Don't write the email or don't.
Oh, for
Here we
my
go.
song. Okay, yeah.
Seth, you got it?
It's my song invented t-shirt.
Hit it.
Says, you can write your feelings all you want, but there's a chance it'll come back to haunt. So just press that backspace button. Don't you dare hit send.
There you go. I love it. Amazing. All right.
I can do that song for you if you want.
There you go. All right, hang on. We got. I want to talk about what's next.
Okay.
All right. Big time stuff here. So let's talk about real quick the festival you're doing. So
Yes.
this has been, I believe, a few years.
Yes, this is our 4th year.
Hit us with it. Let's go.
Cowgirls at the Cowboy. It is the nation's...
Cowgirls at the Cowboy.
Say that 10 times fast.
I can't. Go ahead.
So Cowgirls at the Cowboy is the nation's first and only all-female country music festival in Jackson Hole, Wyoming at the $1 Million Cowboy Bar. It's a 3-night festival that I've had the honor of hosting and curating for the past 3 years. We're coming up on our 4th year in just a couple weeks here. The first night is kind of like a songwriter night where we have these incredible, insanely talented writers where they're singing all the songs that you know, but you've never heard of the songwriter before. So it's really cool. You're getting to hear the stories from those writers themselves and hear these songs that you know from a totally different perspective. Second night is always like this massive breakout artist that's happening. Third night is always massive headliner. And I'm so excited because this year our headliner is Ella Langley, who is arguably one of the biggest things happening in country music right now. So the fact that we have her headlining is pretty freaking awesome.
Wow.
I'm very excited. First night is going to be Tranny Anderson, who writes all of Lainey Wilson's stuff, like multi number ones with Lainey Wilson. Willow Avalon, she's blowing up. Speaking of social media, all over social media. She was just on one of those, I think it was Stephen Colbert late night shows. She's on tour with Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
keep going.
Casual.
Yeah.
Second night, Mae Estes. She just got off the road with Luke Bryan and Brad Paisley. So again, it's like the lineup is insane. It's going to be pretty fantastic.
And what's the date?
October 9th through 11th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you said 4 years you've been doing it?
Yep, this is our 4th year.
So what's the feedback been? I mean, how's it going?
Amazing. I mean, we're already starting to send offers out to artists for next year. So
Really?
yeah. So it's been incredibly successful. I was very lucky, talking about mentors, I'll make it quick, but the owner of the $1 Million Cowboy Bar, his name was Bill Baxter.
In Jackson Hole.
Yes.
Yep. And
And he became a huge supporter of mine. I played a show out there in October of 2020. And when he heard me sing, he came up to me and handed me a check for $10,000.
Wow.
And I mean, that's not anywhere what I was getting paid for this gig. And I was like, what is it? Like, I cannot take this. I can't accept this. And he said, no, I'm embarrassed at what we're paying you for the show that you just put on. And from that moment on, he became one of my biggest supporters, biggest believers in my music. And he called me up and he was like, I have this idea. I want you to be the face of it. will you curate this and host it for me? Cowgirls at the Cowboy. And I'm like,
wow.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, just like the biggest blessing.
Did you say yes before you even thought about it? We're like,
I'm
absolutely.
Like, if you insist.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been the biggest blessing the last few years to have, because it truly is this massive flag that I get to wave at the end of my year to send out to industry, meeting all these amazing artists, getting to befriend them and create these connections. So, I mean, business-wise, it's been fantastic and just such a blessing.
So is it local, or do people come in from all over the place?
All over the place. We've had people from Germany.
Yeah.
Like literally all over the world. They will fly to Jackson Hole.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Ella's show, so Ella's our headliner, sold out 30 seconds.
Oh
Instant
my gosh.
sellout.
Yeah.
Like the fastest we've ever done. So
Wow.
It's going to be insane.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you got
see
that
who
going on.
comes from where this year.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've
Yeah.
got to head out there. I mean, I know.
Why haven't you guys come?
I think Katie's talking about going this year.
She is, yeah.
So you just have that minor project.
Minor.
You're also, I've noticed you're doing a podcast where you're interviewing people within the industry. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the podcast is actually based around the festival. It's called The Road to Cowgirls at the Cowboy, and it features the girls who are going to be on the festival. So I just put out one with May Estes, put out one with Julie Kennedy, who is my fiddle player.
Oh, wow.
And not Ella Langley, sorry. Okay.
It's all right.
And Tranny Anderson, who is on the Songwriter Night.
Cool. Remember the other name? Do you remember the name?
Of what?
The one you're just...
I feel like I'm having a stroke now. Okay.
You have what?
I feel like I'm having the stroke now.
No, you're not.
Okay.
You forgot her name. That's okay.
No, the other one's not going to be on it.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So... edit.
Just those three.
Okay, so is this podcast going to be something you're going to continue to do, or just around the show?
It's just around the show. Yeah, we started it up a couple years ago, but I'm considering expanding it to other opportunities.
I mean, look, you see what we're doing. I mean, it's just such a great way to connect with people in the industry, and it's just such a great platform. So
yeah,
more power to you. All right, so you just also had a song. It was all over my TikTok feed. Tell me about the song.
Yeah, so maybe next month. This is one of the craziest songs that I've ever experienced, because I woke up at 3 a.m. with the whole thing in my head. Like literally did not have to work for it. I just had to write down in my notes app the whole song in about 15 minutes and snuck down to my sunroom, shut the door so that I could play guitar and figure out the chords without waking everybody up. And I think like subconsciously where it came from, my best friend is going through IVF right now. And so, watching her go through that journey of like heartbreak after heartbreak, and seeing how there's really no voice for that. But I put just a little like verse chorus of it out on TikTok, not even planning on releasing it yet. Like I had no release plans, nothing. I was just like, I feel like this is a message that, needs to be heard or resonate with someone. And literally, as soon as I posted it, I've never experienced anything like that. Hundreds of thousands of likes start rolling in these comments of these women sharing their stories of like relating to this song, and just like, thank you so much for putting into words how we feel. Because I think it's one of those really sensitive subjects that's not talked about a lot because it's uncomfortable and people don't know how to navigate that. So when that happened, it was this like overwhelming, like, when is this out? Is this out? I can't find it on Spotify. Where is it? And I was like, whoa. Like
I just did it.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing this. What have I gotten myself into? And this is also like such an emotional subject line that I don't want to like mess it up or like tease them with it or make them wait for it. And so I rushed as quickly as I could. Really, as quick as you can put a song out is 6 weeks. DSPs like to have 6 weeks lead time, streaming platforms. And so Dave and I hopped in the studio pretty much immediately to record it and submit it as fast as we can. And I put it out, and it's like, so to this day, it's like my best performing song I've ever put out. And it's because it's that connection, it's that feeling that these women need to know that they're not alone, and that there are other women out there who understand what they're feeling. And, it's not talked about enough. And here, let me give you this, that you can feel like you're not alone, and that you have this to listen to, and know that you're understood in a way. So yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been.
I mean,
out
what's
for
not?
a
It's, I
couple
guess it
weeks
goes
now.
back to what you said earlier. You know, you just have to keep doing what's true to yourself,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Right. Like nothing's ever taken off on TikTok like that
Wow.
for me. Other than Bear walking down the aisle of a plane saying hi to everyone.
yeah. What happened with that?
That has like 20 million views.
Are you
on
serious?
Instagram Reels too. Like it took off on both.
So Bear was just walking down, high fiving everybody on the plane, right?
Yep, he's practicing his future campaign trail.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're talking about the next chapter. So you've got something extremely exciting coming up. Very exciting.
Yes.
So this is a big one. So you were on a show, The Road. Tell us about. I'm not going to ask anything about it.
Okay.
Tell us about The Road. What's going on with it? I'll sum it up in the end.
Yeah.
You know where they can find you, but. Tell us about this. This is massive. I mean, your life
Yes.
is about to change drastically.
Oh, I know. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's hard to get through my brain. So this is a brand new CBS show, Paramount Plus 2 streaming. It's 12 artists going out on the road with Keith Urban. And we're opening for Keith every single night. It's produced by Blake Shelton and Taylor Sheridan, the creator of Yellowstone, a little well-known show.
A little well-known show. Amazing show.
It's insane. It was the greatest experience of my career. Like the coolest thing I've ever done. I mean, take away the TV aspect, but getting to perform in front of a legend like Keith Urban, who's such a master at his craft, and getting to watch him side stage every single night and learn from that. And like he holds the audience in the palm of his hand, and the command that he has, oh my gosh, it was like, we were all like taking notes the whole time because you're just like, this is insane.
Wow.
And then he just comes back and talks to you and you hang out and you're like, what is happening? So it was like overnight, I was doing what I love to do at the highest level.
Wow.
And, you know, we had guitar techs bringing us our guitars. We had personal in-ear molds made for us. We had this big, beautiful tour bus. I mean, it's just insane to like look back at that and be like, this is real life.
And that kind of came out of nowhere as well, right? Back to your motto, just keep grinding. And
it did. And honestly, I'll shout you out because it was last Christmas. You were at our house and I had a record deal on the table. But I knew that this show was a possibility too. And I was talking to you. I was like, I don't know. And you were talking about you wanted to start this podcast. And I was like, I don't know what I should do. Like, you know, the record deal is so like, it's such like a shiny word to an artist. And I'm like, well, I have this label deal on the table. I want a record deal. But I remember you were like, do the TV show.
Yep.
Do the TV show. And I was
I'll take the credit. I'll always take credit.
And I felt so resistant to it for some reason because I was like, I don't know. Like I never wanted to do like The Voice or Idol or anything like that. Just because it's not really what I do. I'm not like a crazy Mariah Carey style singer. I'm a very like communicative singer. And so, you know, what I do doesn't necessarily like match those audiences of like these crazy high notes and like all of that. So I just never really, I was like, I don't know that I want to do a TV show. But this is so special because we're getting to do our own original music and you're getting to learn about us. It's much more of a docu-series with a competition element versus just putting us on this shiny stage and we're singing a karaoke song, you know?
Yeah.
And they also were very, very selective with bringing artists on the road who have been on the road for a long time, who have been at this. So every artist that you're going to see on the show has been grinding it out for a long time, just like me, and even more so some than me. So it was such a good experience to learn from all the other artists as well. And we all got along so well too. Like we're like family now. I feel like I have a whole nother family. We've got this group text where we're constantly texting each other. So yeah, it was a dream. It was hard. It was hard when filming stopped. Like all of us were just on our group text, like,
what do I do now?
well, yeah, real life, like what's this? Because like I said, you're doing what you love at the highest level out of nowhere. And then also once filming stops, we're all like, oh, okay.
Would you say the production is like totally different than like at that level? Does the production just take a whole nother level?
Yeah.
Totally different.
I mean, we had lighting guys doing these crazy light shows for us. Like it's going to be insane.
Wow.
Like it's, yeah. I'm so excited and terrified to watch it.
I mean, and who knows what's going to happen? It's amazing. I mean, I'm not watching it. I'm going to be too nervous.
You're not gonna watch it.
No, of course I'm going to watch it. So the winner gets what? $250,000, a record deal. I mean,
Yep, and a slot at Stagecoach, which is massive country festival.
and then it sort of like as it goes on, I guess, is when people vote and then figure out the winner in the end. Obviously, wow, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
Are you?
I know
are
everything
you?
that happens, but I'm not.
So
gonna tell
so
you.
are you nervous to watch it?
I am. Yeah, I'm very nervous.
I mean,
I'm excited, but I don't know. I mean, anytime you put yourself out there is nerve wracking for anything, but especially when you know it's going to be on such a massive platform.
I mean, you're talking millions and millions and millions of people, like reruns, everything
Yeah.
else. Like that is amazing.
I know. I'm like, please be nice to me, world.
Yeah, right. I know.
Our social media people, because they have different teams that are kind of prepping us for what's to come, and our social media people, they're like, don't respond to the comments. Like, just don't even look at the
Don't
comments.
even look, right?
Because there's gonna be nasty ones. You
Yeah.
know, there's sad people out there, so they're gonna say what they say. And
It is
but then there's gonna
unbelievable.
be people that love you too. So
Totally.
it's just kind of like
Yeah.
you have to, like anything else in the music industry, you have to have thick skin. And
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure, your life is definitely going to change, and like, I mean, this is coming up like
3 weeks.
that's insane.
I know.
That's insane.
Oh
So this is going to be so fun. So I mean, it's all coming together. So, that's absolutely amazing. The story, it's incredible. You're absolutely crushing it for where you are.
Thank you.
You just got to keep going, and this show is going to be unbelievable.
Yes.
So-
I'm very grateful and very excited.
Absolutely. Am I going to be able to get you to play a couple songs or what?
We'll see.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let's do it. All right, so in between songs, I wanted to bring something up that I actually just remembered. You were on Fox News, and you had written a song for, I believe, a fallen Marine. And while you have your guitar, I just wanted to ask you, number one, will you sing it? And number two, can you tell us what the song was about? How did you come up with it? It was such an amazing experience. I think anyone I know watching actually ended up crying by the end of the show. So tell us about that.
So the song is called Lonely in the Lone Star, and it was written before the Kabul bombing happened. I wrote it with my husband, Dave Brainerd, and our good friend, Bill White. And Bill actually brought in the hook. And, Bill and I were like, oh, okay, it's like a cowboy song, Lonely in the Lone Star. But Dave, he comes from a military family. He was in the Air Force himself, and so he brings a very unique perspective to the writer's room. And so we ended up writing this song about losing your love in Afghanistan. And truly, there was no talk about the withdrawal yet. So this was back a few years ago, and we wrote it and, didn't think anything of it. You write tons of songs all the time. And probably about a month or so later, the talks of withdrawal started happening. And something inside of me was just like, I need to post this song. And so I posted it again, didn't think anything of it. I just felt the urge to do it, so I did it. Well, fast forward another month or so, the Kabul bombing happened, and we lost 13 of our service members. And long story short, it's a total God thing because one of the Marines who was killed was from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And my husband and I got married there. I do the festival there. We've got all of this stuff happening in Jackson. And so the song reaches the widow of Riley McCollum, one of the Marines killed. And she was 2 weeks away from giving birth when he was killed with their first child. And, she heard it and she said, the song describes exactly how I feel. Will you come sing it at his memorial service? His family invited us out to sing. And so, I mean, of course you're going to do that. As a songwriter, you can't ask for anything more than to connect with someone on that deep of a level. You know, you get into this as a songwriter, you get into this to heal something in you, and then you start extending that towards other people with your writing. And so to be able to, you know, make her feel understood and not alone with a song that we wrote is like the biggest blessing that you can ask for. So we went out and we sang it at his memorial service, and I sang it on Fox and Friends, like you said. And the song went number 1 instantly as soon as I got off of Fox and Friends on Apple Music. Never had anything like that before. And we donated all of the proceeds to the 13 families who lost their loved ones. And it just showed me, it was like, you know what? It showed me how much people love their country and will be there to support these families no matter what, you know, because that song had nothing to do with me. I was the vessel and I was the deliverer of it, but it had nothing to do with me. It's all about those families and those service members, and showing such a beautiful side of human nature and the giving of the rest of the country when tragedy strikes like that, and showing that we're really not that different. You know, we all do really care about each other. So it was definitely the most meaningful song I've ever been a part of.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Let's do it.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
There's no shooting stars over San Antone, at least none that are worth wishing on. Just a stack of letters in the full moon as a reading light. Sure is lonely in the Lone Star tonight. There's a picture on our wall they took of you at Lackland, and my old phone number he wrote on a Rosario's napkin. This old quarter carat is still shining bright. Sure is lonely in the Lone Star tonight. This heavy heart, I'm on my knees with it. There's no prayer I know to make peace with it. All the some days, the dreams, yeah, the life we planned wasn't meant to include Afghanistan. Now that yellow ribbon's nearly faded white. Sure is lonely in the Lone Star tonight. What I swore that day was you knocking at the door was just 3 men in uniform saying something about honor and sacrifice. Sure is lonely in the Lone Star tonight. This heavy heart, I'm on my knees with it. There's no prayer I know to make peace with it. There's no shooting stars over San Antone, at least none that are worth wishing on. Just a folded up flag in the full moonlight. Sure is lonely in the Lone Star tonight.
Whew.
Sorry,
Holy shit.
I hit this every time I turn. So.
God. Whew. All right, well, that's made me cry. Michelle can't even look. Michelle's just...
I'll do a fun
Michelle
one now.
doesn't even want to make eye contact.
I'll do a fun one now, okay?
All right, Jenny, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Where can they find you? Instagram. What are we talking about? Let's go.
Yes, at Jenny Tolman on everything. And then The Road is premiering on CBS on October 19th and streaming on Paramount Plus.
October 19th.
Yes.
CBS.
Yes.
Let's
coming
go.
Up. Let's go.
Thank you for following this podcast. For more amazing videos, follow up here. Let's get it done.